Good morning to all of you. Welcome to the Jurisprudence class. Question paper 2022, question number 16. So, a statute has been enacted by legislature. So, legislature, yes, as per the constitution, they are competent to make the law. So, they have made a statute. But the statute, according to the statute, the state is prosecuted for violation of the statutory provision. The question is the state bound by its own statute? Right? So, according to the modern legal jurisprudence, so please remember modern legal thought. So, whether the state is bound by its own law or not. Previously, no. State is not bound by. As when we discussed that interpretation of statutes, of course, to your seniors I told you, interpretation of statute says that the state is not bound by a statute unless it is so provided in express terms or by necessary implication. But it is good in law. And nowadays, days have changed. Article 300 of the Constitution says state can sue and state can be sued. That means if even though law is passed by the state, if the state violates, definitely it can be taken to task. Of course, as per the interpretation I told you, compensation will be awarded. This is a good case in tort law. Right? So please remember, baseline is, so the state is not bound by its statute unless specifically stated. If there is any specific provision, if the state itself does not, that's why suppose if any firing takes place by police, if the police officer fires at an unruly mob and some person dies. So if a civilian wants to file a case against the police officer, then they need sanction under section 197 crpc. Why? Because police officers, they don't want to kill persons in a rage. So to defend themselves or to maintain the law and order or in pursuance of the legal system, they have resorted to police firing. They should be protected. So there is a provision under 197 CRPC. No doubt, as per Article 300 CR Constitution, you can file a case. But there is a thing. The statute is not bound by its own. So here the limitation is section 197. So సహజంగా మీరేమనుకుంటారంటే స్టేట్ వైలేట్ చేస్తే స్టేట్ మీద కూడా కేసు వేయొచ్చునా? లేదు అని చెప్పాలి. కానీ వేయవచ్చును ఎప్పుడు? ఇట్లా పర్మిషన్ తీసుకుంటే. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ఎ స్పెసిఫిక్ ప్రొవిజన్. స్టేట్ ఈజ్ నాట్ బౌండ్ బై ఇట్స్ లా, బట్ if there is any express provision, yes, definitely it can be made accountable. So it was expressed in United States of America versus Reginald P. WITTEK, 1949. ఎందుకంటే actually the appellant, that is Mr. Reginald P. WITTEK, he was directed to vacate the housing project because of the Emergency Rent Act, but he did not vacate. So you have made a law. You asked us to stay in the house. How can you ask me to go away? He filed a case against the United States of America. So there they said, because of the emergency, we need not bind by the law of a housing project. Neeku khali unnappudu icham, but we need emergency, we need that house. We can get it back. That means state is not bound by its law. స్టేటే కదా వాడి హౌసింగ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్లో ఇల్లు ఇచ్చారు, కానీ ఖాళీ చేయమన్నారు. మీరే కదా ఎట్లా ఖాళీ చేయమంటారంటే, ఎస్, వీఆర్ నాట్ బౌండ్ బై ద లా బికాస్ దెర్ ఇస్ నో ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ ప్రొవిజన్. సో మన ఇండియన్ కేసులాగా వచ్చినప్పటికీ వెరీ ఫేమస్ కేసు లా ఇది. కార్పొరేషన్ చెప్పినప్పుడల్లా ఈ కేసు చెప్తా ఉంటారు. డైరెక్టర్ ఆఫ్ రేషనింగ్ అండ్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ వర్సెస్ ద కార్పొరేషన్ ఆఫ్ కల్కట్టా, 1960. సో హియర్ ద కార్పొరేషన్ యాక్చువల్లీ మీకు తెలిసే ఉంటుంది, కమ్యూనిస్ట్ గవర్నమెంట్ కదా. Actually, they are supposed to distribute the ration to the people, but because of the some reasons, maybe something, the rationing officer they have stored the supplies so without license. అంటే ఇవ్వకుండా వేరే చోట ఆపారు, వేరే చోట పెట్టారు. They filed a case. So state is supposed to distribute the so-called ration, but దే కెన్ స్టోర్ ద సేమ్. ఎందుకంటే రేపు పొద్దున అవసరం వచ్చినప్పుడు, ఎందుకంటే ఆల్రెడీ కరువు కాటకాలతో బెంగాల్ కొంచెం ఇబ్బంది పడేది. పెట్టవచ్చు. So they are not bound by the statute. But still, Supreme Court said a corporation can be punished even though there is a mens rea, no mens rea on the part of the state. So sanctions may be available, but definitely when state is engaged in trade or commerce, it is equal to a common person. సో మీరు డబ్బులతో గోధుమలు కొని అక్కడ దాస్తే వాటిని మీరు ఇవ్వకపోతే యు ఆర్ లయబుల్ ఫర్ పనిష్మెంట్, యు ఆర్ బౌండ్ బై ద లా. సో యూ షుడ్ బి ట్రీటెడ్ ఇన్ ద సేమ్ వే యాజ్ ఎ సిటిజన్. స్టేట్ ఈస్, అఫ్ కోర్స్, స్టేట్ ఈస్ ఎగ్జెంప్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ డెత్ పెనాల్టీ ఆర్ లైఫ్ ఇంప్రిజన్మెంట్. సో నార్మల్లీ you can get compensation from the state. So this is another case is Province of Bombay versus Municipal Corporation of City of Bombay 1947. In చేసిన ఇదే కాబట్టి baseline is state is not bound, but state is bound as per Article 300. Article 32. So government, if any violation of your fundamental right is there, definitely you can file a case against the state. The state is bound to, if it is proved, the state is bound to give the so-called compensation. Right? Likewise, you know what is a state. State definitely Article 12 defines what is state. And sometimes sovereign immunity. We discussed in the case of state of Rajasthan versus Vijayawati. So there they claimed sovereign immunity. It is in the discharge of official duty, not accepted. It's an outdated concept, I can say. Right? So sometimes the state, actually some official privileged community, they not be disclosed to anybody. That is another. So the state is not bound by disclosing. According to section 123 and 124 of the Indian Revenue Act, you are not bound by, you are not bound to disclose the professional communications. And RTA Act, to give the transparency, even section 8 of the RTA Act says, yes, no information can be given by the state if it is against the sovereignty and integrity of the nation. So please remember. But anyway, state is bound by its own law. In case of very good case, this is State of UP versus Rajanarayan 1975. Very famous case. Anyway, we discussed a little about the municipal corporation case, Calcutta, then USA versus WITTEK, and Rajanarayan, you can cite these cases. So please remember, basing on the above discussed case laws, state is, please remember, not bound by its own statute unless specifically stated. If you write this much, it is sufficient. So with this, I am concluding. Thank you very much.